Oh man, when you think professional wrestling cannot surpass what you've already may have seen your whole life, you then get something that just transcends all possibilities that you had in your mind. And that's what literally happened a few hours ago, just today. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers galore on demand or live, welcome once again to my continued coverage of Wrestle Kingdom 15, as now I give you a simple take of day 2. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good night, konnichiwa to you all. My name is Noah Foster, and I am a simple man, a lifelong fan of wrestling. Welcome to my continued coverage, recaps, takeaways of everything that is New Japan Pro Wrestling's first event of their year, and that, of course, is Wrestle Kingdom. As now Wrestle Kingdom Day 2 has finally concluded, and everything has been basically, I would say, at least set to a certain pace of what we could expect for the rest of the year, or at least we could lead it. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody again who has tuned in either on demand or live with me during my live coverage of this incredible event. Shout out, of course, to my affiliated partners I'm happy to work with and also know and will be further working with this year, including the Cleaver Con Andrew. Stay tuned for more coverage of NXT 2020, as well as a full-on in-depth review of NJPW's Wrestle Kingdom, as well as some Impact Wrestling thoughts with my good friend Cindy under Pogus into the Stratosphere. And the Sauce Wrestling Show will be resuming again soon. And as always, shout out to my W family on Twitter. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it, because there is a lot to discuss. So with that being said, we have just now finished doing day 2, and I'm coming to you live 5:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, January the 5th, and it was quite a show to remember. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the discussion. As, of course, our night opened up with the following bout, as we determined KOPW 2021 in a 4-way match with the following people. We, of course, had Bushi, friggin' Yano, Chase Owens, and Bad Luck Fale, who, of course, were the last 4 standing from the New Japan Rumble the previous day. This match was a little bit wild, and the only thing I really had on my mind was I sincerely hoped that freaking Yano did not win this, because I wanted something different. At the end, it looked like Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, they were isolating the ring as Bushi went on the outside. Toru Yano did not want to get inside the ring with those two men, especially because Bad Luck Fale owes him a lot from that body slam debacle match. And basically, at this point, Bullet Club, they kind of like in it for themselves, but also together. Let's win this for each other. As Yano, of course, was isolated, and Bushi, though, and Yano, they renewed hostilities on the outside of the ring. And literally in the very beginning, at one point, it was like a finger poke of doom spot where we thought literally Bad Luck Fale was just going to get the win on Chase Owens. That caused Bushi and Yano to come into the ring. Then Yano, of course, put in all his crazy circumstances. He comes in for the turnbuckle corner and pulls Barry apparently off. Barry, I don't like you. And he tries to use Barry, but it didn't work. Sadly, Bushi came into play, intercepted, and then Rocky, of course, who hates Bushi. I was honestly thinking that a program between Bushi and Rocky would be very interesting for KLPW. Maybe something to think about for later this year. As this match continued to progress all over the place, it seems that things were finally being set up for Chase Owens to win this thing with a package pile driver, but of course that got countered into a near fall by Bushi of all people. And as this match continued going forward, it looked like things were going for Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens, as they did hit the grenade on Bushi, and they go for the pin after Toru Yano's isolated on the outside after getting basically taken to the woodshed by both Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But in the end, egos got to the best of the competitors, as Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale were wondering about, let me win. If I win, it's a win for Bullet Club. I was like, just one of you two freaking win. It's a win for Bullet Club regardless. Put your egos to the side. But no, even after Bushi earlier on tried to go for an MX and got countered, Bushi came pretty much the fall guy in this match. As in the end, when Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale basically took out Bushi, who comes up from behind, but freaking Yano, and literally double low blows, Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale takes over the pinfall on a completely fallen Bushi, and dag freaking gummits. Freaking Yano. Yano is once again KOPW and is now beginning the year as KOPW 2021. What the hell does it take to stop this guy? We needed Juice Robinson or Zack Sabre Jr. apparently because these three couldn't get it done. And once again, Bushi falls to Toru Yano. Bushi, are you ever going to get ahead of this freaking guy? Jeez, oh, peace. This was a bit of a wild, messy, uncoordinated opener. Kind of fun shenanigans with the Bullet Club aside. I personally was rooting for Bullet Club in this, but it didn't happen. Yano wins, and all Kevin Cook could say, what happened? My monitor went out. Get some damn better equipment at your announce table, all right? You gotta be freaking kidding me. I know Gino Gambino was just first. I don't blame him either. And by the way, this is for you, Gino. Salute the man, Kevin. He's a war hero. He won the war in New Japan. I missed Gino Gambino. It would have been fun to seen him there, but I digress. Anyway, congratulations, freaking Yano, on becoming KOPW 2021. Well, at least that madness was over with. Now it's ready for things to really move forward with some tag team wrestling as the junior heavyweight division took to the stage. As IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships were on the line. As Yoshinobu Kawamaro and El Desperado, they defended those titles against the team of Rizusuke Taguchi and Master Wato, also known as 1 or 8. Don't ask me. I don't understand that team name either. But regardless, this short come-together team, not bad, and of course Tenso was in their corner. They showed some great tag team chemistry here, and at one point Master Wato, he basically was controlling the pace of the match, isolating El Desperado. There was a beautiful tornado over the top rope, and again Master Wato, he showcases size of a striker but also a junior heavyweight. He's a bit of a hybrid athlete if you ask me, with the way he carries himself in the ring. Definitely a unique competitor to come to the division. And then Taguchi, he comes into play, and literally it looks like he's trying to bring El Desperado into his forever just run off the ropes, as it seemed like Taguchi was just still going, still going, still going, still going, still going, still going, until finally somebody stopped that damn tracks in one heel master, Yoshinobu Kawamaro. I was like, good Lord, how long can this man run? Why is he not winded? Anyway, as Yoshinobu Kawamaro came into play to try and exact some revenge on Rizusuke Taguchi, there was a nice near fall off a springboard European uppercut move, again by Master Wato, who comes into play later. And of course, I was looking forward to the fact now we got Master Wato, Yoshinobu Kawamaro, battle of the two masters. I always look forward when these two lock up. Anyway, as these two continue to duke it out, the ref is honestly just put in the line of fire like 3 or 4, I think 5 times by Yoshinobu Kawamaro to basically slow down Master Wato's momentum. That poor ref. And then literally as this match continues on, Master Wato does finally get the best of Yoshinobu Kawamaro, and he tags in the coach, Rizusuke Taguchi, who of course uses his buns of steel in the corner to basically headbutt, if I can say it like that, Yoshinobu Kawamaro's head constantly over and over and over again. And then there was a very unique move, a reverse power slam for a nice setup for the Bumbaye, but of course that gets denied, and then that's get put into a knee buster into a submission, as El Desperado was looking for, I believe, numero dos, but it didn't happen. And he got to the ropes, so I'll give him credit. Great tag team offense, though, of course, by the champs. So close, I thought that they had them. As this match continues to reach its finish, though, there's a closed fist, right hand by El Desperado, knocks Taguchi out dead in his freaking tracks. And literally, following this, he finally hits the Pince Loco, and El Desperado gets the win and holds the gold for the team, pinning the coach as, of course, Kawamaro, he isolated Master Wato, who could not make the save in time on this pinfall. Honestly, if he did make that last pinning attempt, I wonder if the match would have been over then. But regardless, it didn't matter. As El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kawamaro, they prevailed, they retained. I will say this was a pretty good back and forth match. And again, Taguchi and Wato, they have a pretty good chemistry, but they aren't that experienced together as a tag team versus the champs, okay? These guys once held the titles nearly for over a year. And I suspect that these two are going to carry this division quite for a foreseeable future, especially with what I think is their only real valid competition, Roppongi 3K, kind of MIA at the time being, because Yo is out injured. But regardless, I thought this was a really good match. It was Master Wato's Tokyo Dome debut. And just like Great Khan, I think that he did the most that he could with it. Regarding it was his first time, I'm sure the nerves were getting to him. And I see very bright futures for him and Great Khan. But I digress. Congratulations to Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru. I think Taguchi and Wato should continue being a team because I feel like Wato can learn a lot from Taguchi. And Taguchi, you know he's just going to continue doing what he loves, and that is pro wrestling. Good match, though. But you go from a great match of tag team offense to just a pure all-out fight brawl between two BMFs. Yes, I said it. I tell you, when it comes to the never openweight title, it just makes me do nothing but this. Because I love the fight it brings out whenever it is showcased. This right here was an all-out war. I loved it. As Shingo Takagi defended the never openweight championship against Jeff Cobb in, honestly, top-tier match of the year candidate for me. Again, I've said that a lot about Wrestle Kingdom, but that is the beauty of Wrestle Kingdom. This fang went immediately underway between what I like to call the Dragon and the Juggernaut, as Jeff Cobb once again shows us why he is beyond human, beyond superhuman. He is a super freaking athlete. And again, as Jeff Cobb asked Shingo at the press conference, are you willing to die for this title? Honestly, I was just wondering if either of these men were going to survive to tell the tale at the end of this match. And my thoughts definitely came close to fruition as this match continued for a good long time. Anyway, this is their first singles encounter under New Japan, and at this point, Shingo Takagi, he has not beaten Jeff Cobb yet, so you would think momentum would favor the challenger. When you look at the previous years of the never openweight title, I believe it's changed hands now for the last 3 or 4 years, but people can check me on that. Anyway, as this match began, I was like, this is professional wrestling. This is absolute strong style, and it was just that. Strikes, exchanges galore, tests of strength and power, suplexes out of the wazoo. There was like a lexicon of different types of suplexes delivered throughout this match. A ridiculous hip toss with assistance of the ropes at one point finally gives some momentum to Shingo as he was finally able to take Jeff Cobb down for a brief moment. But then he literally goes for a pinfall, emphatic kick out at 1. I don't know whether or not he was trying to psych out Jeff Cobb here at this point, or maybe just put confidence into himself. Regardless, it was all for naught. As this continued going forward, Jeff Cobb showed how agile he was. Beautiful leapfrog over Shingo Takagi, who was bouncing in between him. And then a ridiculous standing vertical drop kick. Big man should not be able to do that. I'm like, what the freaking hell? And then the suplex party began with a ridiculous belly to belly as Cobb sent Shingo into the next damn time zone. And I was like, oh, well, you know, dragons can actually fly. But it seemed at this point, Cobb was exuding a lot of confidence. Things were slowing down. He was isolating the dragon as he was down on the mat. But at this point, Shingo, he continued to fight back, tries to go for his patented, I like to call Shingo Cabo, with the elbow, the jab, and then the lariato. Denied because the lariato, no effect. Cobb just eats it. It's like the first time I've seen that 3-move combo not be effective. I was really surprised by this. Anyway, as this match continues, there was a ridiculous backdrop off of the ropes, and Shingo, once again, he gets momentum in his favor. The ropes were definitely the help for Shingo here, as he was definitely being outpowered most of this match. Just saying. And literally following this ridiculous power offense, and still not enough. As Shingo, he pulls out all the stops, and very much like Okada, something you don't normally see, Shingo flies over the top rope. What the freaking hell? And then following this, Jeff Cobb, he fights back, though, and traps Shingo in the spin cycle. Knocked the wind right out of the guy, goes for a fall, not enough. And then he applies his patented gut wrench, German suplexes, holding on to Rampage Dragon for like 3 of these. And then following this, a modified power bomb out of a razor's edge position. That was bloody insane. I thought Cobb had him here. Nope, Shingo kicks out. And then following this, it was, again, the match was the power of Cobb versus the explosiveness of Shingo, who could just come out of nowhere and turn the match to his favor at any time, at any given moment. And I was just loving this, as, of course, Wrecker Romero and Kevin Kelly, they were just enjoying this horse fight. Ridiculous superplex by Shingo off the top rope to Jeff Cobb. But again, it was not enough. And then a wheelbarrow suplex. And I'm like, how many other different types of suplexes can we see in this freaking match as both men are suplexing each other? And then both men exchange over the shoulder suplexes, continue following through, ridiculous lariats and clashes to the point. Both men are finally down. We slow down for a brief moment. What in the holy hell am I watching? These two are not human. As this match continues, another ridiculous sequence leads to a suplex, followed by Shingo Takagi. He looks like he's out on his feet. And then he just explodes straight into Jeff Cobb, ridiculous lariato that turns him inside out, upside down. I'm like, where do we go from here? As these two exchange chops, strikes, and freaking headbutts, kicking it into another gear, it seems. We get a Gonzo bomb, and honestly, Jeff Cobb, he continues to fight through. This is honestly Jeff Cobb's best match I've ever seen him in. I'm just going to say that right now. But a key difference maker here, Shingo Takagi slowed down Jeff Cobb's momentum with a ridiculous dragon screw. I tell you, that's always a difference maker in New Japan matches. As Rocky simply called this title BMF title, I absolutely agree. And honestly, folks, you don't need to be a censorship specialist to not know what that means. Shout out to the Cleaver Con Andrew. Greetings and salutations, sir. I hope you're doing well. And I look forward to talking more XT with you later tonight. Please follow my friend, folks, at Cleaver Con Andrew. I tell you, Colin, if you haven't watched this match, you definitely need to. Anyway, as this match continues, there's a rebound suplex into toward the islands, but the hindered knee from earlier that Shingo attacked with a ridiculous lariato chop block, it came into play right here, and it did not allow Cobb to capitalize fast enough on the pinfall attempt that I believe would have gave him the win. It allowed Shingo enough time to stay in this match and kick out. So the match still continues. At this point, folks, I was just calling it a super fight. Following this, another ridiculous power bomb, but Cobb, he refuses to relent and then pulls out his own, I like to call it the Cobb combo, with his own jab and freaking elbow strike and his own lariat that turns Shingo inside out. At this point, he was ready to finish him off. And then a ridiculous moonsault power slam? How do you even do that? But it didn't matter because following this, Shingo, he fights back with a ridiculous pumping bomber that finally turned Cobb 360. And the match still continues. But Cobb will not stay down. It's like the Terminator that will not die. And I was like, I don't want this match to end. I just want it to continue forever. But then another pumping bomber turns Cobb truly inside out, upside down. And finally, after what I think was close to 30 minutes, Shingo finally pulls off, after he demanded Japan earlier and it wasn't enough, Last of the Dragon. And Shingo finally overcomes the Hawaiian Juggernaut, beats Jeff Cobb in singles action, and he retains also in the process his never open weight championship. Holy freaking hell. What a hard fought battle of truly super heavyweights. I love this match from top to bottom. And once again, the never overweight title is truly a standout showcase at Wrestle Kingdom. A match that you all truly will remember, go back to watch, wonder what the hell these two are made of. And honestly, you wonder, was it worth it? How much have these two been detrimental to their own careers, respectively, following the amount of punishment that we saw here? And this was truly, to me, like a semi-main event. As, of course, we had the Clean just Federer after this, because, again, it's 3-3. It was like the main event of the first half. I couldn't think of a stronger way to set us up to just rest for a moment and think about what's to come in the second half. It was absolutely ridiculous. When I think about the Never Overweight Championships matches I've seen at Wrestle Kingdom, this is definitely up there in my top 3. I feel like a match like this and what Shingo and Cobb showcased, this made Katsuya Shibata smile and probably wish he still could do this. Always shout out and respect to the wrestler. Regardless, absolutely incredible, strong style affair. Congratulations to Shingo Takagi. And again, now this has meant that everybody as part of the Empire has lost at Wrestle Kingdom. But each person made their mark on this stage. And at the end of the day, folks, it doesn't matter necessarily if you get the win. It matters the memory you leave and the effort you put in. Someone tell me the Empire is going to be a force to be reckoned with this year in 2021. Mark my words. And I feel like Jeff Cobb, he will be a champion sooner rather than later. Absolutely incredible match. Congratulations to Shingo Takagi. But Jeff Cobb, you owned it, brother. You owned it. Respect. All right. As we now go into a brief cleaning and intermission break and just take it easy because, everyone needed to gather their breath after that freaking thing. We come back from the cleaning and disinfectant break, but honestly, I felt like I already saw my match of the night, so now I'm just going along for the rest of the ride because I couldn't be happier with what I saw out of these two. I love this match so damn much. God, I love a good fight. All right. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the second half of our show as we now have a grudge battle to try and settle, which honestly could set up possibly who could challenge for the double gold following the outcome of the main event. As we now go into a match of former friends, former Padres, former World Tag League winners, tag team champions, now bitter enemies and rivals, as Sanada takes on Evil. And Evil, of course, had Dick Togo in his corner. I'm not going to lie. This match for me, it felt personal, but it felt so slow burn. And maybe that's just the fact that Sonata, he wanted to do this his own way, stick to his style. But Evil, of course, we all know what happens now in a typical Evil Bullet Club match. And we got all the classic stops. We had chairs where he swung for the fences and it was long, far, and gone. And of course, we had exposed turnbuckle pad out of nowhere and heavy Dick Togo involvement. A key spot that I really did enjoy here, though, at one point was the fact that he did lock Evil in a Paradise Lock. And I'm sure Milano also gave the thumbs up to that as well. As again, that is a Sonata staple. Sonata goes over the top rope, takes out Evil, takes out Dick Togo. It seems like the match is going towards his favor for quite a bit of a ways. As again, Sonata, his style, it doesn't really involve a lot of strikes. He's much more technical and mat-based. He more so just uses his body towards trying to get the win, which I find rather interesting, while Evil, of course, was trying to take his damn head off. And a couple of times he kind of did. Speaking of Evil, what did freaking Abe-san do to you? That poor timekeeper got attacked after Sonata got Irish whipped into the barricade twice. Freaking turned the table inside upside down on him. What did he do? But then again, when I was looking at this, I was wondering, this is actually an interesting strategy because you wonder if this kind of like delays the potential count out because without Abe-san counting along with the referee, can the count like truly stand? Can it be heard? Does it still matter? So I wonder if this was like part of Evil's strategy as I was watching this match, but I could be wrong. Anyway, as this match continued on, and again, Abe-san got attacked for the second time. Good grief almighty. It looks like that Evil was trying to use the referee to set up for a magic clear at the time and garner advantage, but it so much didn't work out for that. As this match continued, there was a nice magic screw with the ropes. I gotta give credit where credit's due. That was a very innovative move. Big superplex spot into the Scorpion, a Darkness Scorpion, and it looked like they was trying to get Sonata to tap out here as Evil was unleashing hell on his former friend, worse than he did in the New Japan Cup, but much more slower, methodical. As this match continued, and again, significantly different vibe versus the previous one, we get Darkness falls after Sonata refuses to tap out, near fall as Sonata does not give into Darkness. And then following that, Sonata, he fights his way back after sending Evil into the exposed corner and literally a ridiculous elevated side slam into a nice near fall. And I'm like, Sonata, this is what you need to do. You need to unleash that anger. You need to unleash wrath. You need to unleash hell. But I digress. Before I continue, let's see what Colin said here. Do you ever see Evil working anywhere else but Japan? No, I don't. Honestly, like I said, at one point I thought Io Shirai was going to go back to Japan to work in Stardom because Stardom wanted her. But also, Evil and Io Shirai, they are like a couple. But Evil, in my opinion, I don't honestly see him going anywhere else. Now that he's joined Bullet Club, he's also making more money than ever. Keep that in mind. When you're at Bullet Club, you are profiting. So, in my personal opinion, I do not see Evil ever working anywhere else but Japan. And that goes for several talents in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, just saying. But great question, Colin. As this match, though, continues, there is a TKO finally by Sonata, but of course, there's a kick out. I was like, drat. Following this, though, well, things just went from bad to worse. The ref is down, and Dick Togo, he makes his presence known. Still chair spots, he goes for the Garrett. He even at one point helps Evil literally do what he and Sonata used to do to win matches together. A freaking magic killer. And then following this, Togo sets up for a big move out of the corner, but there was still a table at ringside. And Sonata, thankfully, he fights back. We're about 20 minutes in, and literally Sonata's knees, they are heavily hindered. But Togo, he tries to garner his balance as Sonata takes the legs out from underneath him, lands where the sun doesn't shine. And finally, Sonata locks in the cold skull for the first time this match as the ref gains consciousness. But again, Evo, he fights through it, and Togo is the savior here. But finally, my moment of this entire match, Togo gets taken out as he is taken off the apron by Evo, who inadvertently crashes into him, and Dick Togo explodes through a table at ringside. I freaking love that spot so much. And this is where I thought Evo and Sonata finally took the match into a new gear, as there's like, really, when I look at the rest of this match, like 6 minutes left. And honestly, I was like, maybe 5 minutes less of this match, it probably would have been like so slow and methodical, but still a good match. It was like Evo was desperate, as both men, they switched gears into high-speed octane offense. And literally, Sonata at one point blocking Evil's Everything is Evil, hits Evil with his own move. Sonata with Everything is Evil, followed by a pop-up TKO and the Muda moonsault. We finally go down towards the end of this match as Evil tried to throw everything at him, but Sonata stuck to his roots, did it his own way without a single strike, I might add. And Sonata has overcome Evil. Good has triumphed over Evil, and Sonata did his way and stuck to his guns. Picked up a huge win in what I can only call as redemption at this point. And also, he beat a former double champion. I don't know about you all, but I think that sets up a very stronger 2021 for Sonata this year. And despite how everyone feels about Evil being in Bullet Club, Evil matches always being the typical thing, blah, 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 and the slow burn that went to it, I thought this was a pretty good match. I enjoyed the action overall, and I thought the right person won here. Now, the question has to be asked, where does Evil go from here? Are Evil and Sonata done now with hostilities with each other, now that Sonata has finally overcome his emotions, I like to think? I would hope so, because I don't think we need to see these two face each other again. It was still a good match, but they settled their personal rivalry, I think, once for all. Let's move on. Congratulations to Sonata on a huge, huge win. All right. So moving on from there as we think about what's next for Evo. And again, I don't think Evo's going to leave Japan, but I think Evo is definitely going to try and maybe reevaluate himself. Because again, from the highs of highs to lowest of lows, Sonata beat him. Where you go from here, dude? We move on to a very aggressive, will-testing, high-octane, elevating division affair, as the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship was now showcased in the semi-main event. But I still feel like this match was main event worthy, as Taiji Ishimori defended this title against Hiromu Takahashi, who was already coming in here less than 100%. You know, it's funny. I think about the IWGP Junior Heavyweight division. I think about what people like Will Ospreay has done with it and wanted to do with it. And now I look at this match and think about what Hiromu has done in a single year with it and what he wants to do with it. This match right here proves that you do not need to be just a heavyweight or go after the top title to be a main event of a show. Okay. So, of course, Taiji Ishimori, he was coming in here confident as ever, brand new attire, mask, and all that type of stuff. In here for possibly what could be the biggest paycheck of his entire career, being semi-main event, coming as champion, possibly the next champion. As Hiromu, he was out here to basically, I feel like, complete a whole year saga of what he could do in this junior heavyweight division. To think, 1 year ago, he came in as challenger, he left as champion. And then since then, it's been nothing but up from there until he lost to Taiji Ishimori last year at Jingu Stadium. Won Best Super Juniors in a Match of the Year candidate, and then he risked his spot because he believes that the rightful winner of the Super J-Cup tournament should have the opportunity to try and contend potentially for an opportunity at the title. He gave ELP that option. He beat ELP, and then we come to this freaking match. And all I could say was, good Lord, these two brought it and left nothing to chance. So we start off pretty simple at first with kind of a similar spot to what ELP and Hiromu did in the early beginning, off the apron, and at one point, pop-up apron bomb, this time not done by Taiji Ishimori, but Hiromu gets the better of Taiji, and now Taiji, he has a hindered back. Now, I'm not sure what Hiromu was going for here, as Taiji was screaming out in pain, but he goes all the way up this incredibly long LED entrance way, and it looks like maybe just because of lighting, Taiji kind of was aware what was going to happen here, but running, I would say maybe 50 miles per hour. Hiromu comes in, trying to go up for, I think, a missile drop kick, and he literally misses and crashes and burns his own back on that entranceway, which might I add, made of dense wood. Ouch. Anyway, as we go back into the ring, hey, guess what? There's another exposed corner, and literally Tajimori, he exploits that heavily as he continues to work on now what brought him to the title in the first place, and that is Hiromu's shoulder. So now Hiromu might have a vulnerable back, a vulnerable shoulder, not to mention came in here already with a very hindered, vulnerable hand. And basically, at this point, these two are going move for move, tit for tat in this match as they try to just basically well into each other to keep one person down. Things really came into play, though, here with a 450 on the arm. Awkward landing, by the way, by Taiji Ishimori. And into the yes lock, not the rebel lock. Yes lock. That just goes to show how much of influence Daniel Bryan has in the wrestling industry. Just saying. And it looks like that he's trying to get literally Hiromu to tap out the same way he beat him back at Jingu Stadium. It didn't happen, apparently. What's interesting is how Taiji was able to capitalize so quick on this, because earlier he ate a ridiculous face-first wheelbarrow on the floor. Ouch. And then we got another wheelbarrow later on following that where he plants him on his back. Then Hiromu, he of course continues to fight back as he wants to stay. Taiji wants him to stay down, stay down, stay down. And Hiromu refuses to relent, refuses to quit. There's a reason why he won the Fighting Spirit Unleashed award by Japanese sports last year. He got a ridiculous running DVD. Did you hear the third on that, by the way? As again, this Wrestle Kingdom, the audience could not be vocal. Their sound was literally through feet and stomps and thunder sticks. A very interesting, different dynamic, but it definitely did not stop everybody here bringing out the best they could in each other. And as this match continued, big German suplex counter, and neither man letting up for a single inch. And then Tajimori, he once again puts the match in his favor with ridiculous follow-through destroyer. The only destroyer I might have this entire show and this match. But that was a ridiculous spot, standing Hiromu up basically in a coma state. And then following this, the match finally slows down for a bit as Ishimori gathers his breath. As Ishimori continues to just unleash hell of furious offense with ridiculous elbow strikes raining down on the ticking time bomb, asking Hiromu to stay down. Hiromu just literally comes back up and goes straight in for another, and another, and another, and another, and another. To the point, I thought that literally Red Shoes Umino was going to be like, okay, this is a knockout, this match is over. I thought literally Ishimori was trying to knock the guy out, but Hiromu, again, whose brain I don't think is wrapped fully right, he kept on fighting back and coming back into this. What the hell is this man made of? And honestly, is Hiromu even conscious to understand what the hell is going on? But every shot that Ishimori gave Hiromu, I just kept thinking that Ishimori kept on saying in his head, stay down, stay down, stay down, even more louder. Anyway, as Hiromu continues to fight from underneath, there was a ridiculous double stomp spot that could have collapsed the man's chest. And again, this is why Ishimori, I feel like people didn't think about him so much last year, but this is also why he is the champion. He proved it here in this match with an absolutely all-out incredible affair. Hiromu just had to keep trying to fight and overcome this rival. And you would think at this point, there's no way it's going to happen. Lariato and running DVD into the exposed corner, though, similar to how he almost basically the end of the El Desperado match at Best Super Juniors. The match, once again, is back in Hiromu's favor, and then these two are going counter for counter, and then back on the shoulder. Ishimori works on it, trying to lock in that one submission so far that nobody's been able to counter, get out of, or survive. And as he did that, he literally could have ripped the man's arm out of his socket. This was worse than Clarky Cat that Zack Sabre Jr. does, where he traps both arms behind your back, something what Deonna Purrazzo does. Anyway, as this match continues, we're at 25 minutes. These two have already set a standard for what this title could be and what this type of match can bring. As this match continues on, he finally hit a time bomb, but Hiromu, it's not enough. Tajimori continues to fight back and kicks out. Somehow, willing from underneath, he finally hits Time Bomb 2. And just like what he pulled out against Will Ospreay, it was enough for Hiromu to overcome Bone Soldier. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years now in a row, Hiromu has absolutely done it all. He did it. Hiromu is once again IWGP Junior Heavyweights Champion. As Ishimori looks on, I would imagine in disgust, but also in respect in a way at what these two did and what also just has been done. What an absolutely incredible, fast-paced, high-octane, enduring, will-testing affair. And what a year for the ticking time bomb. Literally, you figure about what this man's done since coming back. He literally says at this point there's only one thing left to do, and that is to push the IWGP Heavyweight Championship not into the semi-main event spot like they did now, but in the actual main event. He believes this could close a show. This could close Wrestle Kingdom. With everything Hiromu has proven us in junior heavyweight wrestling, with what Ishimori did in this match as champion, with what we've seen in 2020 from this entire division that has stepped up to never overweight standards when they were involved in hybrid tournaments, including, I might add, the freaking New Japan Cup, I think it's an absolute possibility. Congratulations to Ticking Time Bomb Hiromu Takahashi. Hell of a run by Taiji Ishimori. And I have a feeling that these two are not going to be done with each other anytime soon. My only wonder, and someone even asked about this on Twitter, is where does Hiromu go from here? Who's the first to challenge him? I just have one thing to say as we head towards New Beginning, which now will be in Nagoya as our first stop. Don't let it be freaking Ryu Lee, because I don't know if these two can survive another match with each other. Even though Hiromu, I'm sure he's all up for it. But Hiromu right now, get that back check, get that shoulder check, get that hand check. Congratulations to the Ticking Time Bomb, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion and Best Super Juniors winner, Fighting Spirit Unleashed winner, and honestly, probably one of the top 5 wrestlers in New Japan last year, maybe in Japanese pro wrestling last year. Got to give it to the Time Bomb. So congratulations, Hiromu Takahashi. Okay, so as we move on from there, we're like, where do we go from here? Can we finally slow down? Good Lord. Nope. There's only one match left, and literally it is the entire premises of our 2-day stance at Wrestle Kingdom. It's finally time to see who will usher in 2021 as the double champion, as we finally hit our main event, where Kota Ibushi finally overcame everything to win both these belts. He enters in as champion to take on the guy that's done everything possible to put him in the absolute perfect spot to be the double champion. It's Kota Ibushi versus Jay White. I don't know how I can pontificate this in words, let alone try and break down everything that happened here, because this match went above and beyond everything I've ever seen in storytelling, in professional wrestling, in ring psychology. I could go on and on about what this match did. Okay, so here we go. So Jay White came in as confident as ever with Gato, adorned in all white, already assuming he is God. This is a simple as that he's going to freaking win. While Kota Ibushi, he comes in still the same way he left yesterday. He comes in humble. He comes in with both the gold. He comes in for us to fight for us, for what he stands for and what he wishes to do in professional wrestling. Well, that was proven here. As this match starts to slowly get underway, Jay White, of course, he controls the momentum. He plays mind games. He literally puts the match into his own favor, his own way. And Kota Ibushi, he's just trying to remain calm, cool, and collective regarding what Jay White has done to him, while Jay White feels like he has all the control in the world. And then he immediately starts attacking Kota Ibushi. But it's nice to see Red Shoes was the ref for this match, because again, he is the guy for reffing main event matches. Anyway, as Rocky was basically like, Gato shouldn't be out here. Gato should be gone. You also got to wonder, everything Jay White said the previous night, how much was that wearing on Kota's mind? Who was coming in here with more pressure? Yes, Jay White. He had everything in his favor, coming in 100%. He has all the confidence in the world. But this is the main event spot of Wrestle Kingdom for Double Gold. And Kota Ibushi, who finally got to where he wanted to be, but wondering, can he hold to these standards he set for himself? I was wondering, honestly, who had more pressure here? And I honestly feel like it was Jay White, because at the end of the day, Jay White went all for broke. And literally, this match, he did just that, working over both the ribs and back of Kota Ibushi, and once again, continuing to attack what Naito started, the head, shoulders, and neck of Kota Ibushi. First off, a ridiculous apron suplex spot. God, that made me cringe. And then working on the ribs, back and forth between the ring apron and, of course, that cerulean blue barricade. But as this match continues, Kota Ibushi, he continues to just keep on trying to fight through all of this pain as Jay White feels suddenly calm, confident, even telling the ref, "Oh, ref, I know the rules, man. I know the rules." But literally, at one point in the corner, as he's just wailing into Kota Ibushi, after spiking him with a freaking DDT, Kota finally hits the first kick after Red Shoes and Jay White get into an altercation. It's like, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me!" Bam! Kick to the midsection. There's a momentum changer, finally. But then we get more assault on the man's ribs and necks by Jay White until Jay White is trapped by Kota Ibushi into a bastard driver. A very unique sequence, I might add, as literally he just catches the guy. I thought that was really smart. Finally, as this match goes towards, I think it was like 15 to 20 minutes at this point, Boombaye for a near fall as Jay White kicks out. And literally, we thought we were going to get history repeated here as this ring psychology and brutality continued, as literally Jay White finds his feet on the ropes. Thank God Red Shoes has eyes and a brain. Marty Asami learned something. Red Shoes saw the feet on the ropes and stopped that pinfall from happening. And as Kota realized this, let's just say Kota, he unleashed freaking hell. And literally, this was the moment where Jay White knew he was in trouble because Kota was no longer there. That scary face, that fluke state, what do people call it? Oh, yeah, Murder Ibushi. He showed up as he literally tried to kill Jay White, to the point that Gedo was trying to tell Jay White, don't come after him, don't go challenge him, don't go confront him, even though Kota Ibushi apparently was calling out Jay White's manhood. And apparently a man can only take so much. And again, he was just unleashing heavy punches while Jay White was down, trying to protect himself, calling for the ref, while Red Shoes was still trying to figure this whole thing out too. But unfortunately, as Gedo came in for a quick distraction, it brought Kota back to reality as he eats a dreaded low blow and then eats a ridiculous dragon suplex as Jay White continues to attack Kota Ibushi and says, Red Shoes, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you, because Red Shoes was pushed by Kota Ibushi during that whole fluke state. And we're 35 minutes in. Let me say that again. 35 minutes into this match as it keeps going and going and going. Then we get a deadlift suplex over the rope and a last rescue out powerbomb. Beautiful combination for Kota Ibushi, but somehow Jay White continues to survive. He survives all of that. And then another sleeper suplex right on Kota Ibushi's head. I'm pretty sure the guy doesn't even know what day it is at this point. Damn. As he eats a couple of these sleeper suplexes and Jay White is absolutely exhausted and Kota is still trying to fight forward, we're literally at the 40-minute mark, and he finally hits the freaking Kamigoye. 1, 2, no. He freaking kicked out. I couldn't believe it. And then following that, you know, it's weird. He's gone for it last year. He'd gone for it last night. He goes for it this time. You figure he would learn by now, considering each time he's gone for it, he's crashed. He goes for that ridiculous off-the-top rope Phoenix splash and actually hits it. And we think maybe this is finally it. 1, 2, are you freaking kidding me? As Gedo comes into play again, this time literally ripping Red Shoes out of the ring to the point he's unconscious and literally saving the match over the 40-minute mark. Comes in to try and knock out Kota Ibushi with brass knuckles. But Kota, he stops Gedo, traps Gedo's arms, sets him in position, smiles, and bam! Kamigoye's Gedo, he's out for the rest of the match. Good friggin' riddance to that trash. And again, now we go back to these two just in the ring as he does bring in Red Shoes back. Smart idea by Kota Ibushi. Unfortunately, he walks right into a Blade Runner. This is it. Jay White has officially, for the first time ever since that move has been used emphatically for wins. It did not work here. Kota Ibushi kicked out of the freaking Blade Runner. This is when you know we've gone to a new era level of professional wrestling when it comes to this type of match and what Kota Ibushi stands for. As again, we just keep on rooting for him. And at one point, literally, Jay White, he is desperate to the point he locks him into a submission, the Ibushi tap out, I'm sure he was calling it. And it looked like he was going to tap out as he just kept on applying the pressure, tighter and tighter and tighter. But the subtle storytelling that gave to this match as we see Kota slowly fade away and Rich was like, you give up. We see the audience just clapping along who couldn't be vocal, but you feel that energy. And again, it's what Kota stands for. Us, the fans of professional wrestling. It's like that what gave Kota just enough will to will his way to the ropes and survive everything that Jay White has pretty much thrown against him. But then he eats a Regoplex again by Jay White for another near fall. And then we get a Bloody Sunday into Blade Runner, but that Blade Runner gets countered into bang, a V-trigger. And we're literally rooting on Kota now more than ever. Thinking this has to be it. This has to be the freaking moment. We're 45 minutes into this damn match. And then literally he gets another V-trigger knee strike, but then freaking Jay White goes for that Blade Runner out of nowhere again. Countered, though, Kota Ibushi turns him inside upside down into a ridiculous lariato. As Jay White literally is collapsed on the ring and Kota Ibushi is slowly wheeling his way back to his feet, Jay White finds himself in a very prone position but doesn't realize what's coming as Kota Ibushi finally hits another Kamigoye, but this time to the back of Jay White's head. And then drops the knee pad down, sets up Jay White in the front for an exposed knee Kamigoye. And 1, 2, ladies and gentlemen, Kota Ibushi has overcome now absolutely everything and has achieved what he wanted to be. He is God. Kota Ibushi has won. He beats Jay White at Wrestle Kingdom, successfully defended those titles, conquered every adversity, every possible scenario that could have been thrown at him and his body and mind and spirit, and stands tall at the end of the night of Wrestle Kingdom as our IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Champion. And by stand tall, I mean it took him a while because he was literally down on the mat as Jay White was slowly still fighting, believing he was still in the match, but couldn't believe it. It's over, folks. He did it. Kota Ibushi successfully beat Jay White at Wrestle Kingdom. And it's official now. He is our Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. Holy freaking hell. The longest match in Tokyo Dome history at 48 minutes and 5 seconds. The Golden Stars prevailed over the Ultimate Evil and Darkness. From 2 losses in a row last year to winning the G1 now for 2 years consecutively to losing the briefcase to winning now 2 matches in a row, 1 Wrestle Kingdom later, both for double gold, 1 to become champion, 1 to stay as champion against 2 of possibly his biggest rivals ever in his 26-year career in pursuit in achieving this dream. You couldn't have asked for more incredible, emotional, long-term storytelling for a professional wrestler than this. And you could have asked for a greater picture and story in professional wrestling than this to start off 2021 and to really culminate everything New Japan Wrestling stands for and what Kota Ibushi wants to stand for in professional wrestling. My God, an absolute incredible match, an emotional moment. But before we can truly settle in and appreciate this and embrace this moment, who comes out but to offer not only congratulations, but a challenge? Cold Skull Sonata, as he simply comes out here and says, I want to offer you a gift to challenge the hope of New Japan Pro Wrestling for those titles. You and I, we haven't met each other since G1. You beat me then, but I just beat a former double gold champion. What do you say? We were already wondering who was going to be the first to step up to challenge Kota Ibushi now in this new golden era of double champion led by him. And we got our answer as Kota Ibushi subtly talked about how he barely survived beating Sonata back at the G1, but now he stands as God with both the strongest and the best title. And he said, you want to do this? I'm willing to do it with you anytime, anywhere, just say when. And with that, it seems like it's official because he accepts the give of Sonata. I think coming up next, very soon, folks, maybe as soon as the beginning, we're getting Kota Ibushi versus Sonata for the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships. I cannot wait to see that. But in the meantime, as Sonata shakes his hand in style and walks off, Kota Ibushi, he ushers in this new era, tells us what he stands for. He will never die. He will never submit. He will never give up. He will never surrender. He will do this for all of us as he tries to bring professional wrestling to the best it can be for everybody. And we are sent off in a golden, spectacular way with a standing ovation by everybody, including commentary, Japanese and English, Masahiro Chono, Liger, Kevin Kelly, Rock Romero, Chris Charlton, everybody, me included. What an absolutely incredible culmination to what has been the wildest of circumstances for us as wrestling fans, but also the wildest, longest, strongest struggles of journeys for one Kota Ibushi, who just started going to pro wrestling just for the heck of it because he wanted to do this with his life and wanted to elevate professional wrestling beyond anything else. Starting in 5th grade, at this now for 26 years, finally culminates here and now. There couldn't be a greater, bigger story. Aspiration, inspiration, emotion, dedication, empowerment, encouragement. This is what Kota Ibushi stood for. This is what this story brought out. And this is what New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to continue to bring. I cannot wait to see what's absolutely next. What an incredible 2-day spectacle. As we are left off with Kota Ibushi walking away, holding those towels high, and Milano Collection AT just broke down in tears, even crying. That, ladies and gentlemen, is pure emotion in professional wrestling. And that is why we are fans of this. Well, with that being said, that literally does conclude Wrestle Kingdom. An absolutely incredible start to professional wrestling 2021. And a new era truly begins now, literally in New Japan Pro Wrestling, led by Kota Ibushi. Now, before we close off here, I do want to leave some highlights regarding backstage commentary. So I was going through the backstage commentary, and it was very interesting. First off, Great Khan, he says that the loser should not speak, but what Tanahashi showed him, he realizes now what he's about. But it doesn't mean we're not going to continue to dominate. Something tells me Tanahashi and Great Khan are not done with each other yet. Tanahashi said that what he did here with the flashy gear, he did this for us. He did it for the fans. It was an emotional, hard-fought victory. Great Khan, what he brought is something very special. It's been a very hard time with these wrestlers that have come into the company now. Great Khan, Master Wato, under the oddest of circumstances, but they both are making the best of the opportunity. And the ace, he says he just wants to continue doing what he's doing. He wants to continue to bring pro wrestling forward for us because he loves us. He wants to, once again, be a champion. He wants to reach that point where he literally carries professional wrestling on his back again and moves it into the next stratosphere. I think he could truly do that. I fully support the ace. People do not count out Tanahashi yet. He is nowhere near done. Then I go to Okada's points, and he talks about what he and Ospreay just did. It was not the ending. It was just the beginning of a new saga, as these two are not fighting now as brothers. They were fighting as equals. He looks at this match, and he looks at the fact he had to put out the Rainmaker 366 days later because his money clip wasn't enough, but he still wants to use that money clip as a focus towards his end game. But Ospreay forced him to use everything he could to beat the guy. And Okada has admitted he has not been quite the same. He did not know how to handle himself without a title because he's been so used to being a champion. As a champion is defined by the title, that piece of gold that they have. He wants to get back to that point and is willing to do whatever work needs to happen to get to that point again. As he proved once and again why he is a standard bearer. And he's doing this, of course, for us and for the fans. Then he kind of stopped there because he was starting to think he sounded like Tanahashi. Again, Okada is not Tanahashi. He is his own entity. He's also a little bit arrogant and full of himself, but can you blame the guy? 32 years, I mean, come on now. And then I want to talk about the biggest backstage segments. First off, Jay White. You talk about Jay White and what he stands for, what he puts into himself, what he believes out of himself. This was the most realistic, emotional Jay White I have ever seen in this backstage promo. As he subtly alluded that he has given absolutely everything to this company, to professional wrestling, sacrifice family, sacrifice events. He has literally given his life towards this. And all this to become double champion, to lead with the gold, but they don't want him to do it. He just can't do it, it seems. It's like, they want me to keep doing this, though. New Japan wants me to keep doing this. All right, fine. My contract's about to be up. They want me to be at New Year's Dash? Fine, I will be. But following that, I'm just wondering right now, should I still be doing this? Should I still be here? He literally says that after New Year's Dash, He's done. Now, I don't know about you all, but I've heard in interviews in the past, personally by him, he refused to go to a certain company. And also, he is literally the Bullet Club leader. So, how is this going to reshape Bullet Club? Is this just a work? Are they redefining Jay White's character? Is he taking time off? Because honestly, I believe maybe that he should, because I don't really know how you bounce back from here full of your own bravado. He's right now at a spot, at a crossroads in his career where it's like he doesn't know what to do right now with himself. He said he was going to do all this. He's done all of this, but he couldn't do the one thing he truly believed that he needed to do and what he was in for this. And that was win the double gold at the Tokyo Dome. He failed. And he used every possible trick, plan, strategy, and gamesmanship he could to try and do this. He failed. So now you got to wonder, what is next for the Switchblade? Does he go off on another excursion? Do you leave him off TV maybe till Dominion? Does he come back out of nowhere, or maybe during the New Beginning? How does he bounce back from here? What does this mean for Bullet Club going forward? It was very interesting to see Jay White in this distraught, emotional, broken down state, as he was simply like laughing maniacally, but also you could tell he was crying. I honestly don't know what's next for the Switchblade, but it definitely was some unique promo work, to say the least, and I'm very curious where he goes from here. And last but not least, we of course had backstage commentary and interviews by our new leader of New Japan Pro Wrestling, the double champion, Kota Ibushi. As Kota Ibushi suddenly talked about what he did here, he now owns the strongest and the best belts. He now truly has become God. It was 26 years that he's been at this, because all he wanted to be was a professional wrestler. All he wanted to do was influence professional wrestling. This is why he went on this saga. This is why he wanted to do this, why he wanted to stand here with those belts, or sit technically. And now he does. And now he truly wants to push professional wrestling everywhere possible. He wants to be the biggest, best thing in the world. Above baseball, above basketball, above other sports, above other events. He wants to push professional wrestling up and beyond what it is now. And now he truly believes he can do that because he has the most influence ever. Now that he holds both these belts. He also subtly alludes to the fact, though, that he wants these belts unified. Because right now, double champ, what does that really mean? You're defending both these titles at once. It's not like you're defending one or the other. At this point, he wants these titles unified into one. Unless New Japan officials, they want to defend it maybe one at a time, maybe one on each event, etc. He's willing to do that. Kota Ibushi's goal, his mission statement right now, his promise to us is to push professional wrestling as high, as hard, and as far as possible for us. And he's willing to do whatever it takes to do that. While he was subtly asked about what this moment meant to him, and what Naito also said to him too during night one when he passed this off to him, he subtly said he couldn't remember. Yeah, I'm not surprised with that considering how many times you were dropped on your damn head, okay? God, that was scary. But all I can say is this. I couldn't be happier to usher in a new era of New Japan Pro Wrestling with this guy as leader and as a champion. He truly believes he can do anything now with professional wrestling, and he wants to do that. And that's his mission statement going forward. And wherever he wants to challenge Sonata, whenever Sonata's ready, he says he's ready to go. The fact that he literally said he would fight Sonata right now, though, I think he's still a little bit stirred up from what Jay White did to him. But I do find that rather humorous. But regardless, congratulations to Kota Ibushi on truly what has been the culmination of your entire career goals at this point. You finally are God. You finally have both those belts. You have surpassed your rivals, Nakamura and Tanahashi, and you only are going to go up from here. I can't wait to see what freaking happens next. Okay, so as we move on from there, folks, this incredible two-day spectacle, it might be done, and we might set the foundation of things to come, but we still have one more event as we look towards the future. But before I talk about that, I do want to give some brief closing notes towards my league. Congratulations to the inaugural Team NJPW champion and my friend Ashley. Look forward to your continued participation in my league, and we will continue this, of course, in the new beginning. Thank you to all those that participated, including the Indie Force, James Hebert, KCG, Mike Nichols, my good friend Gina, Mark the Griff Reviews, of course, the lovely Cindy G, and of course, newcomers, keep it a strong style, follow their podcast, folks, and Joshua Smith and Jeremy. We're going to continue bringing you New Japan passion and coverage the entire year, I promise you. Shout out to all those explorers, by the way, that's been with me in the league as well. I don't know about you all, by the way, but I think so far we've already got 5 match of the year candidates, and I can't even rank them. Every one of these matches told an incredible story, brought incredible action on the edge of your seat. You didn't know which way they were going to go for any of these, and these matches all stood out to me as their own entity. I couldn't be happy to be a professional wrestling fan in what 2021 has given so far, and we've literally just started. And of course, shout out to my explorers that were in the league as well. Congratulations to Sam and Gina on winning Wrestle Kingdom as well. I hope you continue participating going forward, and I look forward to your continued participation as we head towards New Beginning in Nagoya, which will be our next big event. But within less than 12 hours, folks, we got New Year's Dash, where absolutely anything can happen, and it's absolutely unpredictable. I know we're going to get a ton of tag team showcases, faction warfare. We might get more storytelling and salsa for Kota Ibushi and Sonata. We might get more words from Kenta, who's waiting on John Moxley. And you also got to wonder also what's next for Tetsuya Naito, despite the fact we are getting a video game led by him in Strong Spirits coming soon. That's going to be like real stuff, apparently. Real entrances, real music. On mobile, though, this is going to be a very interesting game, and I look forward to what this game could possibly be. But with that being said, I'll see you all after New Year's Dash. And of course, you see the times listed down below. So if you want to continue this live ride into the start of New Japan Pro Wrestling 2021, which might I add, we don't know their big event schedule yet for the year, stay tuned. But with that being said, that's all I got to say, folks. So thank you so much for tuning in. I would love to hear your thoughts, your opinions on everything professional wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, or even Wrestle Kingdom. And I thank all of you. If you want to know more about me, though, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I can't stress it enough. I am a lifelong fan of wrestling. So please follow me on Twitter at mfoster1916, Instagram mfoster1916. Keep following the Sybil YouTube channel here, youtube.com/C/NoFoster10 for all things wrestling. Shout out to my ATW family on Twitter. Please follow my friends, other and affiliates on all their platforms. I'll be with the Cleaver Con Andrew later tonight. Maybe live on StreamYard. You don't know. We'll see. Talking more about NXT 2020. I'll be with the lovely Cindy G later on this week on Into the Stratosphere, where we talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling and no doubt Impact Wrestling, because of course they have a big Impact Plus special coming up this weekend. And the Sauce Wrestling Show, a passion project I've started with some friends here in Ohio. We'll be kicking that off really soon too, across multiple platforms as well. So stay tuned for more on that. As always, folks, just like I'm close, in life, in professional wrestling especially, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. So there are just fans. So please encourage others to do this. Just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. Let's not bring each other down. Let's just come together and enjoy this passion in our own way, because that's what unites us all at the end of the day. Simple as that. With that being said, I thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell and the next video goes live on this channel. Hit the subscribe button. Help me keep growing this channel. Shout out to all 173 of you that's been living this fun YouTuber creator's journey. It's not laying up anytime soon. And also later this week, there will be another edition of AEW Spark regarding what happens at AEW Dynamite's New Year's Smash. Loaded card ahead. I might do it live. I haven't decided. But until next time, I just hope you all take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families, and enjoy wrestling. There's more of it now than ever. So find somebody or something that can connect with you. Make a friendship out of it too. Until the next video, thank you so much for tuning in to my continued coverage of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom. It's been one hell of a show and a hell of a 2 days. So with that being said, I will now bid you all a fine adieu. For me, the Simple Man, Noah Foster, and Simple Man Studios, I thank all of you, and God bless you. Until the next video, take care. Have a good day, night, or evening, whenever you may watch this too. Go